Hey everyone, it's Carly and welcome back to my booktube channel. Today's video is going to be my December haul of books that I have collected in the month of December. I just want to apologize for my lack of uploading. It's been a good few months. It might have been since summertime. And the reason for that is that I've just been really busy and haven't had any time to read or sit down and film a video. More so that I have a big bad book slump still. So today I'm just going to be sharing with you guys a bunch of books that I hope to read in the month of, or the year of 2019, which is kind of crazy that we're coming up to a new year. It feels like just yesterday it was 2018. So if you guys enjoying this video, big like and subscribe down below, and let's get started. So I have a problem. I have all these books that I just bought, and guess how much I spent? Only $7. I'm just going to start with the two up top. So the first two that I have to show you are ones that I got for Christmas. I only received 2 books for Christmas this year, and I'm okay with that because these are only 2 that I've asked for. And the first one is Haunted Connecticut, Ghosts and Strange Phenomenon of the Constitution State by Sherry Rava, or something like that. I'm not too sure, but I talked about one of her other books in, I think, one of my wrap-ups or a haul possibly. She has another book that I read that was focusing on another state that had like a paranormal phenomenon basically, and it basically just talks about like places, like, and obviously this one is talk about like haunted places in Connecticut that are real, that are haunted places that you can probably go see. Just like people that have like experienced hauntings in those certain areas. So I'm really excited. It's either houses people lived in or just like places you can go visit and like community places, stuff like that. So that's really cool. I have that one, and then I also have another one by her. It's Haunted New York City, Ghost and Strange Phenomenon of the Big Apple. So that's really cool because I live really close to New York City, so if I want to go visit, I could go visit all these haunted places, and a lot of them are probably pretty well known because New York is a pretty well known place. So I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm super excited to read these. I definitely want to read those probably for January. I will definitely have a TBR coming up in January. I just have to look through a few books that I'm going to be reading through, and I'm also getting a new bookshelf. So I had a bookshelf, I had the black one last 2017 summer, then I got rid of it, and then I went down to a small bookshelf, like a very baby one, and then that became too much for my books, so I had to pack a lot of books away, and then now I have like a new bookshelf. It's not really a bookshelf, it's something I got from my grandmother that's just like a storage place. So then yesterday I ordered my first bookshelf, and I'm super excited. It's like a 5-layer bookshelf, 5-shelf bookshelf, whatever it's called, and I'm getting that tomorrow. So I'm super excited because I will probably do like a bookshelf tour, or I'll be able to film in front of that now, so it's really exciting. Moving on to the books that I purchased yesterday from my local thrift store. The first one that I have on top is Dear John by Nicholas Sparks. This is a very known movie and book. It's basically about like this guy that goes to the war. His name is John, and I think he basically meets Savannah is the girl's name, and they meet, and it's kind of like him turning over a new leaf and them like falling in love and him having to face the war and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a contemporary romance, and I'm really all for that, but I'm trying to expand my horizon with books that I'm going to read this year. I want to get more into some thriller, horror books, maybe even some sci-fi, fantasy books. I'm very hard to get into fantasy books. I just don't really like find myself being dragged towards them, but I'm going to try this year. I'm going to keep my mind open and try to find some new books, but for right now I'm going to keep on to my contemporary books that are just really easy for me to read. Next, I have 3 books from this series. This is, you're gonna be surprised, the new Moon Twilight series. I have this one, I have Breaking Dawn, and then I have Eclipse, and I think that's all of them. I'm not too sure how many books there are in this series, but I think I have the first Twilight book. It might be one of my old hauls, but now I have the other 3, and they're so pretty. I don't know if I'll ever get around to reading these, but you know, I'm gonna make it a goal this year to at least complete a series of some sort. That'd be pretty cool. I think the Twilight series would probably be like a really easy series to complete. I do love the Twilight movies. They kind of get a lot of bad feedback about them, but I personally love those movies. So the next book I have is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn, and I heard a lot about this book, and it's also a movie as well. I personally don't know what it's about, but I think it's about how this guy and this woman are about to get married, and then the woman goes missing, and they all confront him and think that he's the killer, and it's kind of like a thriller horror book, so I'm really excited to read this, and I'm gonna have to give it a go. Next book is called The Rosie Project by May Simpson. Is that right? I might have butchered it. I've heard this on somebody else's booktube. I think they were decluttering it, or they were unhauling it, or they didn't finish it. It might have been Books and Lala that was talking about this book, and she only liked it because of how pretty it was, and honestly I agree. But when I saw this I was like, oh my gosh, I know that book. But I think there's another book that goes along with it. basically it says it's about this guy that wants to find a wife, and he's gonna do this wife project thing, and then Rosie's trying to find her father, so she's doing this father project, and they kind of meet, and it's kind of like a romance that sprouts between them, or like a good friendship or something like that. But I don't know, it sounds pretty cute, and I think this could be a pretty good read. Next book that I'm super excited to have, because I had this on my want to read shelf for a long time. It's called The Girls, a novel by Emma Cline, I think that's what it is. I feel like I have this book, but I could be completely wrong, but I definitely know I wanted to read this, and I think this is another thriller book of some sort. But basically the back of it says, at the start of summer, teenage Evie sees a group of girls in the park and is immediately struck by their freedom, their careless dress, and their dangerous aura of abandon. Soon Evie is thralled to Suzanne, a mesmerizing older girl, and drawn in the circle of soon-to-be infamous cult and a man who is a charismatic leader. The group's sprawling ranch is eerie and run down, but to Evie it is exciting, thrilling, and charged, a place where she feels desperate to be accepted as she spends more time away from her mother and the rhymes of her daily life. And as her obsession with Suzanne intensifies, Evie does not realize she is coming closer and closer to unthinkable violence, and to that moment in the girl's life when everything goes horribly wrong. So to me it kind of sounds like an LGBTQ plus book, but I could be wrong. It kind of sounds like a girl's obsessed with this other girl she sees in a park, and she's gonna like join their cult basically, and that sounds pretty cool to me. So the next book is How I Live by Meg Rosoff, and I watched this movie. When I read the title I was like, this kind of sounds really familiar. It's about this girl that kind of goes to, I think it's England, and she's visiting like family, and like a war breaks out and they're trying to figure out how to live. I could be wrong, but that's basically what I remember from the movie and the back of the book and stuff like that. So I'm really excited to read this. Honestly, a lot of the books that I found are a lot of thriller books, so that's pretty cool. I'm definitely branching out from my usual books. Next is a book that I'm really excited for. It's called You Don't Love Me Yet by Jonathan Letham? I don't know. Basically, it's a girl that works at a complaint system, like where you can call in and complain on like phones, stuff like that. She works there, and this caller continuously calls in and complains to her, but he's like obsessed with her and he wants to like take her out, and they go out and I think something bad happens. Another thriller to add to my list of thriller books, so I'm super excited to read this, and I think it'll be a pretty good book. And my last book is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware, and I don't really think I know much about this book because it doesn't have a description on it. All I know is that it's a thriller and it seems pretty good, so that's that for this book. There's not much that I can really say about this because I think I read something somewhere. Oh wait, Author in a Dark Wood. I think I have that book, In a Dark Wood. Interesting. I still have yet to read that book though too. I also forgot to mention some books that I got from my grandmother recently. So I have 4 books here that my grandmother was giving away, and I decided to just take them. They're also more thrillers. So this is The Cuckoo's A-Calling. I think that's what it's called, by Robert Galbraith. I'm butchering all these names, I know. Says, when a troubled supermodel falls to her death from a balcony of a London home, it is assumed that she committed suicide. However, her brother has his doubts and calls in a private detective and to investigate. Strike is a war veteran wounded by physically and psychologically in his private life in his disarray. The case gives him financial lifeline, but it comes to a personal cost. So basically, this war veteran is going to be a private investigator of the supermodel that falls from her death that they think is a suicide. So that's another like a really thriller-like book, and I'm really excited for this. Next is a book that I think I have heard about. I put in my wanted to read a while ago. It's called The Arrangement. Los Angeles, 1934. Mary Frances is young, restlessly married, and returning from her first foreign job in France. She is hungry and desperate for food. She wants Tim, her husband, Al's charming friend, who encourages her writing and seems to understand her better than anyone. After a night's transgression, it's only a matter of time before Mary Frances claims that she truly desires, plunging all 3 men into a tangled triangle of affection that will have far-reaching effects on their families, their careers, and their lives. So to me, that kind of sounds like a threesome, but I could be wrong. It sounds like a love triangle kind of romance book, so sounds really good. I'm interested in this one. The next one is Big Little Lies by Lane Moriarty. This one says, a murder, a tragic accident, or just parents behaving badly. What is indisputable is someone's dead. Madeline is forced to reckon with. She's funny, biting, and passionate. She remembers everything and forgives no one. Celeste is the kind of beautiful woman who makes the world stop and stare, but is paying a price for the illusion of perfection. New to town single mom, Jean is so young that another mistake for her mistakes her for a nanny. She comes with a mysterious past and sadness beyond her years. These three women are at different crossroads, but they all wind up in the same shocking place. So that sounds like another like thriller, kind of like a learning lesson life kind of thing. So that sounds pretty cool. And lastly, I have Before Jamaica Lane by Samantha Young, and this one says, despite her outgoing demeanor, Olivia is painfully insecure about the opposite sex. Usually she can't get the nerve to approach guys she's interested in. Moving to Edinburgh to give her a new start, as she develops a crush on a sexy postcard, she decides it's time to push past her fears and go after what she wants. Nate Sawyer is a gorgeous player who never commits, but to his close friends he's loyal as they come. So when Olivia turns to him with her relationship woes, he offers to instruct her in the art of flirting and to help her become more sexually confident. The friendly education and seduction soon grows into a tense, hot romance, but when Nate's past and commitment issues rear their ugly heads and Olivia is left heartbroken, when Nate realizes he's made the biggest mistake of his life, he'll have to work harder than he ever has before to entice his best friend into falling back in love with him, or may he lose her forever. So, sounds like another cute little like, romance book that I'm definitely going to be dying to read. It just sounds like one of those ones that reel you in and out, so I'm excited for that one. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's book haul, and if you did, give it a big like and subscribe down below. And I promise to be uploading more. I'm super excited to start getting into reading and uploading more. I haven't read yet. I haven't read much this year, to be completely honest. My goal was probably like 10 books, and I think I hit like 8. I'm not going to be doing a wrap-up, I don't think, for this year of books that I've read, but if you guys want to see that for books that I've read this year, just go ahead and let me know. I'd be happy to do that because I definitely have some books that I have read that I would like to talk about. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys!